Hello, hello. Welcome back to another Chris McPherson Show NBL preview. And we're talking some Christmas hoops as we look ahead to the Sydney Kings taking on the Illawarra Hawks on Christmas night. It's going to be a huge run. Of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit subscribe down below. Give the video a like. Get involved in the comments. Let us know what you thought. But let's get into it. Christmas night, the national stage, and one of the best rivalries in the NBL. Sydney Kings come in absolutely flying since the FIBA break. 4 wins on the trot now, defending at an elite level and climbing the ladder. They're sharing the load offensively and starting to look like a group that knows exactly who they are and not just relying on a couple of key individuals. The Illawarra Hawks, the defending champions, still occasionally dangerous, but they're walking a much finer line. This feels less like a coin flip derby and more like a form team putting pressure on a fragile equation, getting that charge and getting set to take on their rivals. The tail of the tape, well, Sydney right now are built on defense. They're the best defensive team in the competition. The least points conceded across the season so far. That's all led and headlined by one man, Bull Quoll, who should be back in action. And they're comfortable winning ugly. They're comfortable winning slow if that's what they need to do and grinding teams into the dirt. We saw it a couple of games ago against Adelaide where they turned the screws on them in the second half. Illawarra, they sit mid-table for offense generated, and when it clicks, they do look imposing when they can get everyone gelling together. But when it doesn't, that drop-off, it's massive. These two did meet back on November 16th in Illawarra, and the Kings were dominant, 98-71. An all-round showing, lots of contributors, no oxygen given, and that memory still matters. It's all about now for Illawarra. Do they lean into that narrative, or do they try and buck the trend here against their rivals? The big questions for this game: can Illawarra generate enough offense beyond JaVale McGee? If McGee and Davo Hickey don't gel early, where does the control come from? And at the top of the bill, can Tyler Harvey go toe-to-toe with Kendrick Davis on the biggest night of the calendar? Because this game will be decided by guards and discipline at the top. The underlying stories, though, Illawarra's formula is clear and risky. JaVale McGee is a 3-time NBA champion. He leads the league in rebounds and blocks, and he can dominate games, but he needs help. If the timing's off, if the tempo frustrates him, if the ball doesn't find him in rhythm, Illawarra lose shape quickly. And we know that matchup for him up against Tim Suarez is not one that's a friendly one, coming up against fellow centers who are much more mobile and drag him away from the post. Sydney have clarity, their roles are defined, their confidence is high, and since that FIBA break, this group has leaned fully into defending first and trusting the offense to follow. The matchups that matter, the headline matchup is obvious. Kendrick Davis, 23.4 points a game, 5.4 assists. He is the engine. He is the closer and the tone setter. Illawarra's job is brutally simple to say and brutally hard to execute. How do you slow KD without giving up everything else at the other end? And at that other end, Tyler Harvey. He has to do more than just score. He has to swing and control momentum, but the real chess match, the undercard is inside. McGee versus Tim Suarez. Suarez is mobile. He's comfortable away from the rim and even out to the perimeter. He's happy to pull bigs into uncomfortable decisions, and McGee hasn't loved matchups like this season against mobile centers. And Sydney have multiple looks they can throw at him, from Suarez to the likes of Xavier Cooks, even if they want to go undersized and really move him about. That battle tilted Sydney's way last time, and it could do again on Christmas night. The X factor is temperament. If Sydney can frustrate McGee early, get under his skin, and force him into decisions that take him outside his comfort zone, it changes Illawarra's entire rhythm. When he's engaged, he's a force. When he's rattled, things can unravel quickly. So here's how I see Christmas night playing out for these two. I like the Sydney Kings, and I expect them to cover the line at -7.5. They're the form team. I don't think they're going to blow this out to a 20 or 30-point win like they did in Illawarra, but they'll be strong. They'll defend. They'll execute. And since that break, they've been setting the standard in the league. This feels like a game that slows, not speeds up. Sydney control the tempo, tighten their grip like a boa constrictor. So I'm leaning under 184.5 on the total as well. Physical, emotional, derby pressure. And if you're looking for that value bet, keep an eye on Tim Suarez. This could be, again, a time for him to shine. Have a look at him for 6 or more rebounds. You can get that at around 250. He stays involved. He stays mobile. And if Sydney alongside him and led by him can pull McGee away from the rim, those boards can add up very quickly. For Illawarra to stay alive, they need to click early. McGee engaged, Hickey in rhythm, Harvey matching KD punch for punch, But if Sydney get control, real control, this crowd will feel it. The tempo will turn up. The hype will turn up, and the home fans will drive them forward, and this game could slip away fast. Christmas night, one of the biggest stages in the NBL, two rivals that really love to not love each other. And by the final buzzer, we'll know if Sydney's surge is the real deal. Are they continuing on their way? Or if maybe the defending champions can still bend a night here and their way and try and stay in touch with that play-in race. A big thank you to you for tuning in. Again, to one of our NBL previews, make sure to hit subscribe down below. Chuck a like on the video. And if you want to keep up with more content from The Chris McPherson Show, you can find us on social media at The Chris Mac Show on all your favourite social platforms. But until next time, a thanks to you again for tuning in, and we'll talk to you on your home of the black and white of sport. No grey opinions very, very soon.